Speakcies.
Hi, and welcome to Origin of Speakcies. I'm Raegan, and I'm here with my brother Logan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So we're going to be taking over for my dad and Mr. Glissman today.
So the main topic we'll be talking about today is food, and you guys will hear the first exclusive sneak peek of Raegan and I's debating podcast.
But first, we'll play a clip about one of my favorite things, bacon. From episode 14, this is Bring Home the Bacon and High on the Hog.
Bring home the bacon, baby. That's our first
Is that our
idiom
first one?
tonight.
Good. Well, it's bacon. You can see me smiling. People
You
listening
lit
cannot.
up. You lit up.
Because it's bacon.
Mostly when I say these things, you look back at me like I did something bad.
Well,
like
I have to be on my
I
guard.
called you a Rush fan and you weren't a Rush fan.
Right.
No, you're just thinking. That's your thinking face. You have resting Steve face, and that's okay. So, but bring home the bacon. I said
Bring home the bacon.
and you lit up like a.
Because bacon's tremendous. Is there
I love bacon.
Is there anything better, honestly, than smelling bacon?
No,
Being
well,
cooked.
eating bacon. I mean,
Yeah, that's number two.
It's
or one
kind
beef.
of, there's this thing that's been happening with, memes and people, things being cool, like brunch and pizza and tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Tacos is the new thing.
Right.
Or maybe it's not anymore, but for myself as being old. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it's actually Korean barbecue now.
Yep.
Is the new thing.
It should be. Bacon is the real, like that. Bacon, first of all, bacon is good for you.
Yep.
And anybody that says otherwise is wrong.
A dirty hippie.
The other day, I had bacon for lunch and dinner.
So you had a great day.
I did. I had a pack of bacon. I made half of the pack, made it in the oven. I want to say I went 375 for about 15 minutes. Brought it out, had about 4 or 5 strips of bacon. That was lunch. And then for dinner, I had bacon and your favorite, kale. Bacon and kale, baby.
Now, the same look I had on my face when you mentioned bacon, the opposite look is on my face now.
I think the only reason you have a problem with kale is because, I don't know, I feel like you weren't in on the ground floor with kale and everybody talked about it. It's like that cool band that's actually good, but you don't want to give credit to the band
Listen.
because you didn't find the band.
You have your kale, you have your quinoa.
I don't eat quinoa, dude. I eat bacon and kale because you know why? It helps. It's good. First of all, do you know the vitamins that kale has? It's got.
You know I'm legitimately angry.
I know
about
you
kale.
are. That's why I'm doing this while we're talking. All right, Steve hates kale.
All right, let's talk more about bacon.
All right, so bacon is amazing.
Bacon is awesome.
And
Gosh, I love bacon. I really am excited
I
just
have
to
some.
say
Want to
bacon.
make some real quick? We can make some and come back.
I love bacon. I don't know if I want the closet to smell like bacon every time. It's
Yeah,
probably
true.
not the best thing
It's
for,
probably
for
like
your clothes.
You and I are already here in a closet with all
Yeah.
my clothes. If it smelled like bacon, it would just take it to another level
Yeah.
of weirdness. But all right, come
So
on, talk to me.
Bringing home the bacon. So you're bringing good things back to your house. Often used to describe a paycheck. You're taking care of your family. You have money coming in. You have good stuff coming in.
Yeah.
You're bringing home the bacon.
Okay. Well, there's got to be more to it than that, right?
And I have a feeling it could be extremely sad and dark, but it's still bacon in the end.
This is not sad or dark. I want to go ahead and break the tension right now.
Okay, good.
It's about bacon. This is going to be a happy episode.
It's about bacon.
Bring home the bacon is a wonderful phrase, but guess what? Great Britain wants to take credit for it because they say there's a tradition all the way going back to, and this may be the furthest back that we've gone, 1104. I think that might be it.
That's Knights Templar territory.
Right. So right around the time people were getting loaded for bear, which, by the way, we are making a difference right now with Loaded for Bear. People are saying it. I have friends that are sharing it. But anyway.
And I think people are paying attention as bears are getting ready to go into hibernation.
They are. We are making, and I actually not even joking. I sound like I'm being tongue-in-cheek.
Right.
We're making a difference with Loaded for Bear.
Good.
People are saying it. So right around that time when the Knights Templar and the Catholic Church were talking about bears, there was a tradition that happened in Great Dunmow, Essex, and there was a local couple in 1104 who impressed the prior of Little Dunmow with their marital devotion to the point that he gave them a side of bacon. So this ritual continues to go on to this day, and couples showing devotion win a prize, which is a side of bacon. And this is actually, there's something going on here with this. This is a true thing, I think, because in 1395, Geoffrey Chaucer mentions it in The Wife of Bath's Tale in prologue, where he says, quote, "But never for us the flitch of bacon, though, that some may win in Essex at Dunmow." So he mentions this place, and a flitch of bacon is a side of bacon. It's the same thing.
Maybe that's a phrase we need to start promoting. Flitch?
Get my flitch of bacon.
All right, don't ruin bacon. You've already said kale.
But flitch rhymes with so many words
I
that
know.
you could use.
A flitch of bacon.
Go get my bacon, flitch. So it's true that, or apparently true since Chaucer talked about it, that this was a thing that happened in this place, Dunmow.
Right.
I don't know if it actually still happens, quote, today, but it happened for a long time where this guy would give bacon to good couples, which, by the way, that would be nice if that still happened today. What
great
motivation. The divorce rate should be...
It's a good way to start your marriage off.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have a good marriage, some guy, some prior is going to give you bacon. I like it.
And you go back to Canterbury Tales. You got a good literary reference there.
Yes, no doubt. So the other thing that people talk about with Bring Home the Bacon is the old greased pig competition on the fairground. And
if this occurred in, as you would say, back in the day, that greased pig probably was pretty good if you could get that, because you can pretty much eat absolutely everything on a pig.
Absolutely.
So getting a hold of that pig is going to help you out.
You get the greased pig, and the prize is a pig.
Yeah.
And you go home with bacon.
Everybody wins. You brought home the bacon.
Okay, all right, maybe, but the problem with these types of explanations for these things is that they're made in hindsight, right? So there's no record of anybody using this term as an idiom.
Right.
But then you go back and you go, hey, wait, we found this obscure thing from 800 years ago where somebody gave someone some bacon.
Right.
Okay, well, that maybe did happen, but that doesn't mean that's why we say it today. What we do know is that, like you said, people bringing home the bacon, it does mean it's a sign of wealth that you can bring home the bacon, or it's a sign that you can take care of someone. All right, so that's true. But where did it come from? Okay, you ready? It's a boxer. We're going back to boxing. This did not originate in the UK. This originated in the US of A.
Yes.
And it was a African-American boxer, United States of America, named Joe Gans. And it's actually his mother who used the phrase. So we have a telegraph. It was in 1900. He was 26 years old when he won his American title. Then 6 years later, he had a fight against Oscar, quote, Battling Nelson in Goldfield, Nevada. And apparently this was a ghost town, but this was a huge fight, the lightweight championship. And there was a telegram that they would read. So they'd read telegrams before the fight. So this is obviously before you had, Michael Buffer getting us ready to rumble and all that.
Right.
So to fire you up.
They read telegrams to the crowd to get them pumped up.
Which sounds crazy, but think about it. It's like,
what else you gonna do?
You're in some ghost town. There's a fight happening. You got a crowd.
Yeah, you got to read something to them. Just read the telegrams.
So Gans received this from his mother. Quote, Joe, the eyes of the world are on you. Everybody says you ought to win. Peter Jackson will tell me the news, and you bring back the bacon. Unquote.
We go. One of our favorite characters that comes up through these discussions.
Bilbo Baggins?
Close.
Oh.
Pierce Egan. Actually.
Really?
Yeah. What made his one of his many things he was known for was his writing on boxing.
Well, listen, man, boxing, it makes me want to like boxing more. Because I'm not that into boxing.
Well, there was a time,
it.
not too long ago, that boxing and horse racing were premier sports before the rise of basketball and football. And
that's why we keep bringing them back up, apparently.
Yep.
He won the fight, And actually, it went to Gans after 42 rounds.
Oh my gosh.
This is like when like pitchers back then would pitch 10 innings every night, complete games.
Right.
They went 42 rounds. And the way he won was because his opponent hit a low blow and was disqualified.
So no one even was knocked out. It was a technicality.
Yeah. So he sent a telegram back to his mother in Baltimore, quote, bringing home the bacon. Not just the bacon, the gravy too.
All right.
So then after that, in 1911, P.G. Wodehouse, who is phenomenal, if you've ever read any of his stuff, Jeeves and all that, he used it in his novel Uckridge and said, it may be that my bit will turn out to be just the trifle that brings home the bacon. So this was after the fight. This is where Bring Home the Bacon came from.
All right. I like it. I want to see goats spread to other things. I want to see how far it can be pushed. Like, what else can we start bringing goats into?
Well, they're already bringing them to parties. We can bring them to work with you, I guess. I mean,
maybe somebody's got to be the Neil Armstrong,
right?
Bring that first goat to work.
You have a meeting with your boss. You get one of those like emails,
yeah,
at like 4:29 on a Friday,
yeah,
and it's like we need to meet 8:30 a.m. on Monday, and you're going,
yeah,
this can't be good.
Yeah, I don't know if a goat's going to help you in that. That's when you bring your own banker's box.
I tell you what, you might as well try the goat.
Yeah.
At that point, goat shows up, the boss chills out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
you're still bringing home the bacon.
You're bringing home the bacon, and you're living high on the hog. Woo! High on the hog.
High on the hog.
Yes.
Well, again, I'm glad we're still talking about bacon, and I am legitimately happy and smiling.
Good. Yeah.
So, high on the hog.
Living high on the hog.
You're bringing home the bacon.
You think of...
Well, in the same way that goats took care of a lot of things at your farm,
right?
You can eat off a hog for a long time. That's
true.
Pretty much a grocery store that's just walked in.
Let's talk about the hog and the pig. We get from that, and this is going to be obvious, but I just wanted to talk it out. We get bacon.
Right. And for that, the animal, I mean, it's done enough at that point.
I mean, chicken, all you get is chicken.
Right.
A friggin' hog, you get bacon, and that would be enough.
Yeah.
But, guess what else you get? Pork chops.
Easter ham.
Friggin' ham. Sausage.
Ribs. Rib tips.
And even now, like pork belly.
Yeah.
Some people eat pig's feet.
There's certain gas stations. That's baffled me. As much as I'm a bacon fan, I've never been at a gas station anywhere and said, you know what? Those hooves floating in some weird pink water. Yeah. I think I want to put that in my mouth.
It just goes to show you that pigs, hogs are so delicious that, and if any vegans are listening right now, you may want to tune out, or you probably already did.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can email Steve at Speakcies with any hate mail about.
And that's fine.
About
every email I get is just another pound of bacon I'm going to go buy.
So we're here to talk about the phrase "high on the hog." Steve, you're so fancy. You're living high on the hog.
I am.
When I hear that, I think it's either like somebody's made it in the world. They're affluent.
Right.
For some reason, they're better than me because they're living high on the hog.
Right.
Or you can kind of say it in a way of that. You can kind of say it in a way of jealousy.
Right.
Too, like, oh, who do they think they are? Oh, high on the hog.
Right.
And also kind of like get off your high horse.
Okay.
You're living high on the hog. That's how I would think about it.
Okay. I've never heard it that way, but I guess you could put it.
Well, see, that's why we have these conversations.
That's right.
I mean, how do you? So
I hear, again, high on the hog. I'm thinking bacon. Everything's good.
Why high on the hog though?
Life is good.
Okay.
You got a lot of bacon.
So the surprising thing about this is you would think that this one came from way back in 1100 or 1300 because really it means the cut of meat on the hog.
Okay.
So the higher up on the hog is where you get the good stuff.
Okay.
like
Makes
we
sense
talked
too.
about pig feet. It's
Right.
on the bottom.
Right.
So you're on a farm. You're a servant. You're not eating high on the hog.
Right.
You're getting
the leftovers.
So like even the belly was considered to be kind of like
Right.
not the best cut, right?
Right.
So the top is where you're going to get your good stuff,
Okay.
your bacon, your pork chops. And that is what it means. So you would think that came from back in England or somewhere
Right.
way back in the day. And again, just because the good cuts of meat are on the high part of the hog doesn't mean it becomes an idiom. But really the idea of living high on the hog, meaning living the high life came. The earliest time was mentioned was in 1920, and I love this quote so much. This quote comes from the New York Times, March 1920. So again, this is America. This is another American one. So both of these were American in the 20th century.
Wonderful.
And the quote says, Southern laborers who are, quote, eating too high up on the hog, pork chops and ham, in parentheses, and American housewives who, quote, eat too far back on the beef, unquote, porterhouse and round steak, are to blame for the continued high cost of living that American Institute of Meat Packers announced today. So just absorb that. High on the hog could have easily been back on the beef.
I just like how much the New York Times has changed throughout the years. That's still just condescendingly looking down on the South.
This is where it really actually started. Mid-20th century United States. There was a San Francisco paper called the Cal Bulletin, which in 1946 said, quote, I have to do my shopping in the black market because we can't eat as high off the hog as Roosevelt and Joe Davis and all those millionaire friends of the common man.
Oh, now that's more like it.
That's the San Francisco I know.
Yeah, that sounds like the San Francisco fighting for the common man.
That's right. So people that think that this came back from the old days will reference Samuel Pepys, our boy that we just talked about.
Pepys.
This guy, Samuel Pepys, is pretty sweet. He had these memoirs, and he said in July of 1667, quote, where it seems people do drink high. So the word high, and it doesn't mean Rocky Mountain High or high that we think of today.
Right.
It actually just means that was a word that alluded to people's status. Living the high life came from that. Mm-hmm. Sitting at the high table, that was all the way back to the 15th century. And even high heaven, which came from the 9th century, number 9. Okay. This thing of high was a way to say you're fancy or you're a special person. So you can look back and you say, well, the cuts of meat are good. Mm-hmm. They used that term high, but nobody said high on the hog, really. Again, it was in the 20s and the 40s, people started using this. And a lot of these phrases we do, it really is political. It's when you look back, they're being used for political reasons, and it's almost as if they are using language that the folk, would understand to point a finger at the alternative.
Yeah, there's a class thing going on here.
Yeah. So there's the whole thing. Now, there's another suggestion. In doing my research, there are people that are adamant that this came from still America, but farm life in America, it actually came because piglets who suckled from the top row of teats of the mother sow tend to fare better. Mm-hmm. And I've read farm boards where farmers say, yep, that top row of teats, the milk is creamier.
I think it's wonderful. I would go to a restaurant called Top Row of Teats. Yeah.
So they get more milk. That row of teats is expresses milk more easily. Probably not it's definitely not where it came from.
Right.
So there you go. We got two, bacon-related idioms
what a wonderful day.
Date back to America in the 20th century.
We've had bacon. We've had boxing.
Yep.
We've had the New York Times being condescending.
Yep.
We've had bacon.
We've had Great Britain trying to steal our idiom.
Right. We've had Pepys.
Yep. Samuel Pepys.
We've had no Germans until now.
Well, now we do.
Yeah.
Again, we've had a streak of no Germans. We'll have to remedy that soon. But
we've had a streak of no wars without them either. So
that's true.
Let's try to keep that going
let's
too.
Knock on wood.
Bacon, everyone's got to have it, for a nice breakfast meal. It's very good stuff. But I think sometimes you just got to mix in a very good salad.
Hey, wait, when are we going to play our podcast?
Well, before that, let's play a clip of the origin of salad days.
All right, so the next one is one that I have never known. I've heard it, not been 100% sure what it means, and that is salad days.
Salad days.
Have you heard this one?
I have, and this is actually one I oddly use, or I've used before. So salad days means you use that to describe times in the past where things are going really well for you. It almost has like a springy vibe to it. It's the salad days. Things are going, life is easy, things are going well. And it's extra odd that I use that because when I think of food that I want to eat, as low on the list that I could possibly put is a salad. Like if I'm stuck in a situation where I have to eat
salads.
There's no point to it.
Yeah, there is roughage, man. It helps everything.
I'm not a rabbit. So salad, the thought of being in a situation where you have to eat salad all the time, because I've gone through that phase
all the time. You just mix
but
in
it's
salad.
the salad days.
Why are you so mad about? Okay. So salad days makes it sound like it's the age of salad.
Yeah, you're looking back, and this is going well, and this is going well, and then you find out you have to eat a lot of salad.
Okay.
So the times in my life where I have had salad, I'm also the person that will soak it, and any benefit I'm getting from the salad will be offset by whatever 3,000 calories of Caesar dressing or ranch.
That's my favorite. And by the way, speaking of salads, salad bars have got to be the biggest ripoff of all time when you think about it, because you go up there, like you said, and you think you're being... First of all, you're not being healthy.
Right.
You're not. Unless you're getting some greens with a little olive oil.
Which you're not doing.
You're getting... And by the way, I have actually thought about this more than I should have on like what the margins are on this stuff. Cottage cheese has got to be the biggest margin for, because it's heavy.
Yeah.
It can't be expensive. Why do they always have so much cottage cheese? What is cottage cheese? I don't even know. So, yeah, it's bad for you. You go up, you put ranch dressing on a bunch of like the ham and the turkey is oddly the same.
Oh, that ham cube at a salad bar like turns my stomach. Just even thinking about it, it's just disgusting. But they get you in there. You feel like I'm doing something good. I've had some salad. Now I'm going to put 4,000 calories of ranch on top of it and clog my arteries at the same time.
Yeah, a bunch of grated cheese. That's probably not really cheese.
Oh, and ham. That's not even ham. How do you have to fake ham? That's bad. Whenever you're getting synthetic pig.
It's the same thing. I honestly think it's the same thing with the different colorization. There's no difference between the turkey and the ham. Then those little broccolis aren't even good.
Yeah. Anyway. So salad days.
Wait, are we really going to talk about salad bars without talking about kale?
I didn't want to bring it up.
Okay.
And I put this all on you.
All right. We'll move on.
We'll talk about garnish at another time.
All right, so you said salad days means kind of like the good old days.
The good old days, yeah.
Yeah. That's not initially how this was used. So definitely the old days.
Okay.
But if you think about salads, you think about green, and we think about green, the way that that's sometimes used is like naive.
Okay.
So this one came from also Shakespeare.
All right, good job, Will.
We have our theme. This is a theme on two levels because pickles don't go in salad, but it's food and Shakespeare. Thank you. The first time this is used is in Julius Caesar, which, did you read Julius Caesar in high school?
Yes, I did. And I was going to say yes no matter whatever Shakespeare play you threw at me.
Yeah, I actually really liked Julius Caesar. That was one of the first ones. The first things like I had to read in school.
Right.
That I loved. And there's a scene where Cleopatra is like extolling the virtues of Mark Antony and his conquests and all this. And she's telling all her, what do you call them? The other maidens that help her out, right? The service. That they need to also be singing the praises of Mark Antony. And they instead start talking about Julius Caesar and how great he is. And that doesn't go over well with her. So her servants say, this is how you talk about Julius Caesar. You've always talked about Julius Caesar like this. So, and she says, those were my salad days. I think exactly what she says is, Cleopatra says, my salad days when I was green in judgment, cold in blood, to say I said then. So she was, I think Cleopatra was 21 when she met Caesar, and he was like in his 50s, and so she was sort of smitten by him and all this. So then later, when she's going, no, Mark Antony's the real guy here.
So she was naive, which actually makes sense for young ladies too, because there's also that stage that women go through. They think they're just going to have a salad, and then Caesar dressing's involved, which puts 5,000 calories on top of the withered greens they've gotten at a Ruby Tuesdays.
Exactly. That Ruby Tuesdays down the street closed down.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's a Ruby Tuesdays.
How dare you? Yeah. I don't mind a little Ruby Tuesday. It's no Olive Garden, but so it means salad days is generally used to mean the days of carefree innocence, the pleasures of youth. However, we use it in a different way too. We talk about it almost just as much as that. We talk about the salad days to mean the mature days when it's almost our golden years. So the Shakespeare origin really is supposed to mean the first thing. He also used green a lot of times in his writing. The green-eyed monster of jealousy. You've heard that in Othello. In Love's Labor Lost, he talked about green is the color of lovers. So he used colors. He used green a lot. But we have used green in our language to mean unripe. You talk people like greenhorn that are new. So I think this is really the true way that this should be used. So salad days didn't get used for like 200 years after it was used into play until the Oregonian, a newspaper in, you'll never guess the state.
Oregon?
Oregon said in 1862 the phrase, "What fools men are in their salad days," which I don't know why that makes me think about what a fool believes.
Thank you. Well, because Michael McDonald's spirit is with us always. That actually, my head went there.
Did it really?
Yeah, it really did. And I think also, too, I think it's a much briefer phase. But you've gone through a phase like, all right, I got to knock off 5 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a salad. And your salad days are very brief. So men go through it also, but I don't think it lasts very long.
The salad days are brief, and then you realize it's not the way to go.
Yeah, and that's
Salads
also
aren't the way to go.
because what you'll do as a man is you won't put the 5,000 calories of ranch on, but what you'll do is I had a salad, so that way it's okay if I have a pie.
That's right.
And a steak.
Well, I will unfortunately go for the ranch dressing at times, but yes, the salad somehow is going to make up the difference for like the load of pasta I eat later.
Yeah, we all love a good salad sometimes, except for Mr. Glissman. But now it's time for what you've all been waiting for.
Logan and Raegan's debating podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Raegan and Logan's debating podcast. And today our debate's going to be Chik Fil A versus McDonald's.
So I'm going to be taking the Mickey D side, and Raegan will be
taking the Chik Fil A side.
Okay. So I always start out on everything. So you start out and tell me a little bit about Chik Fil A.
So I feel like Chik Fil A is just way better than McDonald's because...
But you need reasons, right?
I'm about to tell them.
Okay, so say that again. Say it.
I feel like Chik Fil A is way better than McDonald's because, they just have, great service, amazing food, and, they barely ever, forget stuff. If you're in the drive-thru, they only forget it, once or twice, maybe. Yeah. Because, they're packed because everybody likes them.
So, I gotta admit, the service at McDonald's is what you call not very good. So, so basically what time? So, before church, on Sunday, when I was little, so we basically went to McDonald's, and, I would get, sausage biscuit, chicken biscuit, whatever, and this lady would always give me, a toy and stuff, and we didn't even bought it, and they were pretty nice there. They're just not, they're just, a little lazy, I feel like. I don't know, they kind of just, I feel, whenever I'm in the drive-thru there, they just don't want to be there. Chick-fil A exclusively sells chicken. So, we have chicken sandwiches, chicken tenders, chicken nuggets, what else? Salads, grilled chicken.
Waffle fries.
Oh, yeah, the waffle fries, obviously.
Iconic.
So, whenever we go there, we get, I might get a chicken sandwich, 3-service meal. Chicken sandwich is very good, but, so here's my point. McDonald's has burgers, very, very good fries. Burgers, fries, chicken sandwiches. I'm pretty sure they have salads.
Yeah, they...
McFlurries. They're, known for their McFlurries.
Oh, I love McFlurries.
Reagan. Okay.
Well, I know.
See, their food is, it's, a good fast food. But, Chick-fil-A, it's fast food, but it's, it doesn't really feel like fast food. Their service is, I can't explain it. It's like, okay, so
Their service is amazing.
yeah, the service, my pleasure. Like, sure. I mean, they're closed on
Yeah,
Sundays.
I know what you mean.
I feel like
They're too nice.
my point I'm trying to get is that McDonald's food. They sell more stuff than Chik Fil A. They sell like not all they sell, or like all Chik Fil A sells is chicken, grilled chicken, French fries and stuff. And I mean, everyone loves it. Like it's good. But you see, McDonald's, like, I feel like most of the time I'm in a mood for like a cheeseburger or something than a Chick-fil-A sandwich. It's hard to explain. Like, and so I'll go there and I'll get like a McFlurry and stuff, and it's so good. It's just like, I mean, the service is a little bad. That's pretty much it. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like they have the same amount of locations. So you talk.
So I feel like Chick-fil-A, like pretty much everybody knows about it. So they have like a lot of customers. They get like a lot of money. But McDonald's, like whenever you go there, there's like 2 people in the drive-thru. When you're at Chick-fil-A, there's 10 people. I know like it's a longer line and stuff, but that means that they're better because more people are there.
Yeah, that's true. And when they have a long line, they actually don't screw up their order. They have a very efficient way. But see, I feel like McDonald's, you would like assume that they might mess up your order or something, but it's weird. Like I feel like most of the time they don't mess up the order, and if they do, it's like they forget a sauce or something, or I don't know, something like that. And I mean, I can live without sauces, but I mean that's just me.
Not me.
Okay. But so yeah, I feel like service definitely goes to Chick-fil-A. And McDonald's, I feel like, okay, whenever I go into, like, a Chick-fil-A, it's, like, a bunch of moms with their, like, 2-year-olds, and all the tables are just taken up with, like, random people. I mean, obviously random, but you know what I mean. Like, and then, the kids' playpen, there's, like, screaming and stuff, and
That's true.
that can get so annoying. I mean, they're both pretty greasy. Like, I feel like every time I go in, there's grease everywhere. But, I mean, I gotta say, like, okay, so McDonald's doesn't really have it. I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I feel like civilized people actually go there. Like,
But how many times do you go inside McDonald's? Like,
that's true, but I feel like every time I do go in, it's just, like, normal. But I feel like when I go into Chick-fil-A, there's some, like, 2-year-old just, like, screaming their head off. I can't, like, if you go into a
true.
Chick-fil-A, but I mean, I feel like, again, people are nicer at Chick-fil-A, but, like, I mean, I don't really care about that. I care about the food, so.
oh. I mean, the food, I feel like McDonald's, they don't try too hard. But, well, you usually don't crave McDonald's, but you can just, like, crave Chick-fil-A, like.
I think that's, I see what you're saying, but I feel like you can crave both. I feel like you can crave a chicken sandwich, but I feel like most of the time, I crave, like, a McDonald's cheeseburger and fries and, like, a nice cold Coke, if you haven't seen our last episode. Because, they're smart and they sell Coke products, but anyway.
They also sell Pepsi.
I don't think they do.
I think they do.
No, I think the one we go to doesn't. Okay, anyway. But, McDonald's, most of the time, I go there and I crave, or I'm like, oh, there's a McDonald's, can we stop by? But, like, if I see a Chick-fil-A, I'm like, I don't really want to stop by Chick-fil-A because I feel like Chick-fil-A door is packed.
Because it's so delicious.
The line has been getting faster, but it's like, okay, listen to this. I'd rather wait for in a long line for like, some like Chick-fil-A, which is like pretty good, I would say, and then like barely wait in a line for like above average, or like a little bit above average, like actual
well,
burgers and stuff.
No offense to McDonald's, but I mean, their service is pretty bad. So
their service isn't terrible.
So like when you're there, they take pretty long to give you your food.
No.
So Chick-fil-A's line like moves really quick because they just like hand it to you. You're done. You can just like skip people since you already got your food. Just leave.
You're talking about like Burger King or something. Oh, it was Popeyes. So I know. Okay, I know. I'm not trying to change the subject or anything.
Popeyes.
But I mean, the chicken sandwich they have. I don't know. In my opinion, I've had the Popeyes chicken sandwich once, and it's like, I mean, I love the chicken's very, very good, but the bread I'm just not too crazy about.
Burger King. Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry, we're back. But I'm not trying to change the subject, but I mean, Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwiches are, in my opinion, better. But anyway,
Delicious.
so anyway, back to this conversation. So okay, I think overall though, I'll give you the strong points about McDonald's. Food, a little bit above average, pretty good. Coke usually, with the ones I've been to, Coke products. That's always a plus. French fries, way above average. Like, not as good as Arby's, but you know, we'll get into that another time. Fast food French fries, because I mean, I'm a fast food French fry like I forget the word, like connoisseur or something like. I don't know.
I'm not in 7th grade.
Anyway, so I think overall though, so like food pretty good, service overall restaurant inside I feel like it's in my opinion okay, because like the people seem pretty normal in there, I'd say. Okay, Raegan, you go.
For food, I feel like the food's like really good.
I've got an idea. Let's give it a grade. Okay, so food, I say solid A-. Service, like a C+. Maybe a B-. Restaurant, B+, now that I think about it. Fries, A+. Not too crazy about Chick-fil-A's fries. What's not, I mean, I feel like everyone's like, Chick-fil-A's fries are so good. How do you get, like, doing, I feel like, I don't know, they're just not that good. Like, I mean, they stay warm, which is good, but it's like, I don't know, you get, like, some good fries at the top, and then it's just, like, the other half is, like, you know, some crumbs and stuff, and I don't know. But, so, yeah. So, okay, those are my pretty grades. So, like, average is, like, maybe, like a B+, something like that. B, maybe 5. Okay, let's see. What are your grades?
For food, I give it an A.
That's respectable. Yeah.
For service, I give it, like, I'm kind of between A- and A, because I feel like sometimes they're too nice, and they just act like they seem sarcastic.
I say give it an A.
Yeah. And
well, okay, also add to that, some of them genuinely, they're my pleasure. You know, some of them are genuine about it. Some of them are just like,
my pleasure.
Yeah, like that. I mean, still say, but like, they just don't look like they're having fun. Well, obviously, I mean, it's work, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have a good face on. Like, you know, my pleasure. Their service is overall good, but I mean, like I said, some of them are just not too crazy about it. Like, they're just...
Yeah, for fries, this is just my opinion. I think A+ for me.
Oh, what?
Just in my opinion.
Dude, I'm giving my...
I think
McDonald's
they
fries
are
like an A++. They're not...
amazing.
They're never salted enough. They're warm, though. That's good. Okay, but so now, what do you have? You have the actual restaurant, and that's it.
What do you mean by the actual... Like the whole thing?
The inside, like, what do you think about it?
The inside, I mean, I'll give it a B.
That's fair.
Because it's, like, pretty packed and pretty greasy.
Yeah, like...
Because, like, when they wipe the tables, they don't wipe it too much.
We always get drive-through. Like, every time we go there, drive-through. That's why it's always packed. I feel like no one wants to go in there.
So, my overall grade is probably, like, B+, A.
Yeah, I say for you, it's, like... an A. For me, it's like a B+. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I think Chick-fil-A takes this one. I mean, I don't want to let McDonald's down, because I like McDonald's, but I mean, gotta admit, Chick-fil-A, they're pretty good. But I can't.
Just a little better than McDonald's.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Thank you all for joining us today.
So if you want to comment on who you think won the debate on the last or the upcoming episodes, or if you want to the last two, if you want to go back and if you watched them already and you remember, then go ahead and put in the I
don't really know.
Yeah, put in like the comments or whatever who you think won those debates, and so
thank you for
watching, and as always, have a debating day.
Pew pew.
Debating. Pew pew. So yeah, I mean, we do eat our fair share of fast food, but let's end this on a healthy note.
What do you mean?
One word. Pie.
Alright, we're gonna move on. to another pastry-related idiom.
Mm-hmm.
So, humble pie.
Humble pie.
Humble pie.
Humble pie. Band.
Oh my gosh. Yes, there is a band.
30 Days in the Hole. Steve Marriott, who was from the band Faces, which I know because I don't know if we've discussed this. You actually might not know this.
I don't know anything about
I
this.
had a Rod Stewart phase when I was younger.
Get out.
Listen, we're in the closet. We're
Get
going to
out.
confront this. So when I say Rod Stewart,
Terrible.
what do you think? You think Rod Stewart. So think in your
think-
head whatever that terrible
I think
stereotype.
when we were working at the freaking Maple Tree,
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
And we had to listen to like whatever soft hits were on, and it would be horrible
Right.
Rod Stewart. I think I got something to
Yeah.
say to you.
So before I have that is not a Rod Stewart. I don't know what you're
Just yeah, I think I got something to say to you. No.
No.
What's the one he has a woman's name in it?
I know I'm supposed to like be
No, there's
keep
a
the conversation
he's
going.
like, so I think I got something to say to you. Okay, maybe it's not Rod Stewart.
No, the last part you got it. Oh, Maggie May.
Maggie May, is that him?
Yeah,
It's
that's
terrible.
him.
But see, I
That
like that
sounds
you've
nothing
so
like
blocked out.
Yeah,
Wait, you're saying my rendition didn't resemble the actual Rod
it sounded like
Stewart song?
Richard Dreyfuss trying to do.
Maggie May, I think I've got something to say to you.
So I will say,
I'm
in my
Richard Dreyfuss.
defense,
Yeah.
in my defense, early Rod Stewart, before he became whatever you, it's kind of like there's Rocky 4 Rocky and there's Rocky 1 Rocky.
Yeah, okay.
Rocky 1, he's a scrappy guy fighting his way up, just doesn't want to be a loser.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky 4, he's ending communism, which is a good thing,
Right.
but kind of more cartoony, Rambo-y.
Yeah.
Early Rod Stewart,
How was it? What
Pretty
was his
good.
hair situation back then?
he still kind of had the electrified peacock look, but he hung out with a group of guys that did that, like Ron Wood from the Rolling Stones.
Not personally, but
Okay.
I know of Ron.
So
Wood,
that
yeah.
he was with Rod Stewart in his
Yeah.
early solo work. He was
Okay.
also in the Faces, where to go back. Where
Rod Stewart was in Faces.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep. Also the Jeff Beck group.
Okay, all right. You're
So-
schooling me. You're.
You're gonna have to eat
I don't
some
want to
humble
go.
pie.
You right.
Bringing it back. So
You've already made me like Prince, and I do like Prince now. But
Prince
I
is
didn't.
awesome.
I know, but I
don't,
had an
I won't
aversion.
make make you like Rod Stewart. How about
Okay.
that? I withdraw.
Yeah,
Peer
I'm-
pressure. And you like
so
Rod
so,
Stewart.
but you're. I didn't know until today that there is a band called Humble Pie.
Right.
Rod Stewart was not in Humble
was
Pie,
not, but somebody from Faces.
somebody from
was.
that band was.
and they
Okay.
had one song that I'm aware of called "30 Days in the Hole," which is a.
Sounds like it wasn't a cakewalk.
It was not a cakewalk, but it's one of those songs that you listen to. It's catchy and it's upbeat, and then you realize it's about being in solitary confinement. Then, if you listen a little bit more, you realize somebody's in solitary confinement because of heroin.
Jeez.
So, just like Cakewalk goes down a dark path.
So you're telling me Humble Pie is. No, it's not as dark as Cakewalk, but that's pretty dark.
Slavery
That's some
kinda
Alice in
trumps-
Chains stuff right there.
Yeah.
That sounds like something they would sing.
No one's trumping slavery,
No,
but
no.
Humble Pie. So that's what I think. Now, obviously, Humble Pie too is something you eat. You're getting your comeuppance.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Your hubris or overweening pride has burned you, and
You know what
now
I
you got to
wish?
eat something.
I wish that Humble Pie actually came from the band Humble Pie. Like if that was the origin.
That
But
would be good.
It would be cool because I could just say, "That's it, man.
Yeah,
Nailed it."
And then
But-
you could witness to people about Rod Stewart, or I could at least.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been pushed so far with artists. I mean, there's country artists I like now. I just don't know. I feel like if I start liking Rod Stewart, I got to start questioning everything.
Early
So-
Rod Stewart, but again,
Okay,
do
early
not
Rod
feel
Stewart,
peer pressure.
But I do actually respect your opinion. So Humble Pie, here, this is a fun one because Humble Pie means exactly what you think it means, exactly what you said. You make somebody eat, the humble pie means you kind of got what was coming to you. You thought you were all that in a bag of chips, and you're actually not. You got to eat your humble pie. But it started back in way back in like medieval times, right? So everything was a pie back then.
Mm-hmm.
You just put it in a pie.
Right.
You don't want to eat this part of the deer
Mm-hmm.
because it's awful.
Right.
Awful. And a word I did not know. OFFAL. Have you heard of this word?
It's like Scrabble or Scrapple.
Yeah, I guess. Which, oh my gosh, I remember eating Scrapple and not knowing what it was, and I was
Right.
like, "This is garbage." But anyway, so it's all the garbage from the animal, all the stuff that you don't. I hate that word. All the pieces of them that you don't.
It's like this is the origins of hot dogs.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Exactly. It's like
middle-aged hot dog.
It's like back then they didn't have the hot dogs down yet.
Right.
So they would just take the
put it in a pie.
The gross stuff, okay, the heart, the liver, the whatever the parts that you didn't want to eat, and they'd sort of put it into a pie. All right, so the original word is numbles, which is a weird word, but Numbles. And they'd say, "Hey, you gonna eat your numbles? You eat your numble pie?"
Little Cockney accent.
Little Cockney, and so this is a British phrase,
okay.
and so it wasn't. So we think about eating humble pie now as like a really bad thing, but back then, actually, all the references to humble pie is actually good. That it was good, and so it started as numbles, turned into umbles, because we have a lot of words that that start with a vowel, but then we say, or start with an N. We say, so I like an humble pie, or I like a numble pie, and we turn it into an humble pie. So it was numbles. So you say, I'd like to have a numble pie. It turned into an humble pie.
But it was actually good.
Yeah, it was good. People liked it. I mean, people, trust me, man, back then, they're not going to turn their nose up to.
Well, look at us
we
now.
We eat hot dogs,
hot
right?
Dogs.
They're going to have a podcast about this, or they're going to like teleport it right into your brain or whatever, talking about the stuff we ate.
Yeah.
So that's numble pie, humble pie, humble pie. It's not that exciting, but I do like. Oh man, the thing that'll haunt your dreams.
Cakewalk.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I need to make this one a little more disturbing too.
Okay.
So, if you think I'm making this numbles word up or this umbles word up, it has the same Latin root as what happens when after you have a baby. Not you, but
thank you.
Yeah, if someone has a baby, what do you cut?
Umbilical
cord. Umbilical. It comes from the same root word. Pretty gross. So it's nothing about umbilical cords is fun. Did you cut the umbilical cord?
I did. Oh. But it was fake. It was.
Oh, you did like the.
Well,
post.
I did the. Did not think this would be our discussion. It's fine. Yeah. So our daughter was C-section.
Okay.
So she's removed, but there's still there's an auxiliary umbilical cord. So I technically got to do it. It's kind of like almost like, they're going in that store whether you cut the ribbon or not, but you're going to get the big scissors and do it and feel like you've done something someone's been inside there already.
Yeah.
But we're going to let you cut the ribbon.
Yeah, they have. That's funny. All right. So that's humble pie. Now, quick bonus material is so there's an American version of this, which pretty much means the same thing. It has to do with a bird. Do you have any guesses? Humble pie. Eating humble pie for an American, it's eating
crow.
Eating crow.
Okay.
Yes. So I actually like eating crow better. Humble pie's too fancy.
It's too Britishy.
Really
they're trying to put on airs. We're America. King George. We're just going to eat the crow.
Exactly.
Stick it off. What is that?
Okay. Eat crow.
Eat crow.
Eat
this
crow
is
and
get
die.
right to the point.
Eat crow.
Eat crow.
Yeah.
By the way, band influenced by humble pie.
Tell me.
Black crows.
Oh my gosh.
Full circle.
Man, it's almost like everything just works together. It's crazy.
It does.
Yes.
So how did eating crow become?
So I do think eating crow is just one of those things where, it's like us today seeing it. If you say eat dirt or something.
Yeah, eat something. No one's serving crow at a restaurant.
Right. So it's kind of funny though, because now you would know. Like, I'd never eat a crow. I'd never eat a rat. I'd never eat. But man, times were hard back in the day. So like you might consider eating things you wouldn't, but you did know like, hey, I'm not going to eat crow. But there are stories. I mean, you can go back. There are short stories about like a farmer who had a guest, and then there was like a wager on whether he would eat the crow. I mean, it's stuff like that. But really, and there is the biggest thing that gets referenced is this story about from the War of 1812. And honestly, this isn't even a great story. It's simply this: there's a ceasefire. An American pulls out his gun and shoots down a crow. A British guy catches him and says, "Hey, let me see that gun. And he gets the gun and he's like, okay, now you got to eat that crow. And at gunpoint, he makes him eat the crow or something. So it's, again, this is what passed for, I think, humor back then. I mean, there's not a lot of really funny stuff. That's why people thought Mark Twain was so freaking funny.
Mark Twain is pretty funny.
Val Kilmer is Mark Twain.
Val Kilmer is anything.
Did you hear that Val Kilmer is on board for Top Gun 2?
I believe
that's real.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we digress, but yeah, that's it. So eating.
We need to get the Val Kilmer story in this. Just plant the seed
we
for.
talked Val Kilmer. There's a Val Kilmer story that we'll get to.
And it's worth your while.
Earthquake. Yeah. So we'll get there, but yeah. So that's it. So eating crow. Not much to it, but I just did like the fact that that's the American version, which is pretty straight to the point. Whereas the British version is like, oh, he's going to eat his humble pie, isn't it? You know, it's
we
like,
have a pretend queen. Look at us.
Right.
Let's play house.
We're fancy.
All right, well, that's the show. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, tell a friend. Check out Apple Podcasts. Check out Spotify. Yeah, do all that stuff.
Bob's your uncle?
Watch out for bears, and kale is delicious.
Speakcies.